It's Becca Newton from the KBIA Newsroom, and it's time for Missouri on Mic. Conversations from Missouri in its 200th year. Linda Godwin spoke with us at the Como 200 celebration on the 4th of July. She's originally from Cape Girardeau and is a former astronaut and scientist for NASA. She did 4 space flights and logged over 38 days in space during her career. Today, she works with the Climate and Environment Commission in Columbia, informing the community about climate change. She spoke about her experiences and how they've made her passionate about protecting the planet. Here's Linda.
So we live on an oasis, a beautiful planet in our solar system, and part of my background is I have a PhD in physics. I worked for NASA for 30 years, and I was in the astronaut program. One of my missions was an Earth science mission. But on all of them, we circled our planet for several days, and when you see the Earth from space, you realize that we are all in this together. Our atmosphere is incredibly small, and we can see that from space when we see a sunrise or a sunset. It's vulnerable to changes that we are making to it. And what happens in one part of the world connects to the other part. So we're all so connected. And we don't have another backup plan. This is the place. There's nothing else in our solar system that is anywhere like Earth, and other places are way, way too far away. So this is what we've got, and we've got so much to be pleased with on the planet that we have. But we do influence it by our lives and our actions and what we put into the air. And these are things that we can do something about if we could get everybody behind it, everybody to agree that we need to do it. 2 years ago, in June, the mayor signed into action a plan that was quite a while in the making. We had a commission of private citizens, volunteers here that worked on this very hard, putting together a plan for Columbia over the next decade and where we want to get to with sustainability, where we care about bringing all people along. We care about equity in administering this thing. And it's about doing what we can to reduce greenhouse gases, protect the environment. That includes native plants and trees and biking more and having these trails. But it's also easy to leave parts of our community behind. So a big push behind this is that it includes everybody, that there's equity in it, and that we do what we can, in the big picture to make things better. And we have climate goals that are several decades out to be met. It's all about care, taking care of people and taking care of the environment. And we need to keep the wetlands that we have. We need to keep the prairie grass that we have. We need to keep the wildlife that we have. We need to expand sustainably. We need to look at where our energy comes from. And taking care of people means that some people that don't have as much money out there, or other resources, are often the ones that don't get to take advantage of some of these things that help the climate. So we need to think about them too. So we want this to be a great state in which to live and work and play. Those are kind of the trite phrases, I guess, that a lot of people use. But I think Missouri, it's such a beautiful state, and we have so many different kinds of land here, and rivers and lakes, and that's the kind of thing we need to keep and make it even better. And so we can become this even better state in which to live and better community.
That was Linda Godwin speaking about how protecting the planet from climate change has to be a community-wide effort. Missouri on Mic is an oral history and journalism project from Missouri's 200th year. Thanks to Noah Zahn for producing this episode, and the Burney Sisters for providing our music. For more conversations like these, visit kbia.org. I'm Becca Newton. Thanks for listening.